Yee. Hello, pretties. Welcome to Israel. Sorry, that took a second, but yeah. Anyway, I'm really loving my hair today. My curls definitely came out to play, and my hair is real poofy. Because usually when my curls are real nice, my hair is really poofy. Because that's just how it goes. Anyway, welcome to Palette Week, day 3. I talked about this in my previous episode, but I've decided to do a palette week for this entire week because I am off for work, so what better way to enjoy it? Also, let me show off my nails. It's not perfect, but I got this set from Ohora. I don't know how to pronounce, but Instagram was advertising it. So I got this set and I got a bunch of stuff from them, and I tried it for my first time and I really like the way it turned out. So yeah. Once again, the lighting is horrible because it's super gloomy here in Austin, Texas, and I use natural lighting, so hopefully it won't be too bad. I did get inspiration to do palette week from Lauren May Beauty and from It's Just Stuff, and I'm gonna leave both their channels down below. Please check them out. It's Just Stuff just wrapped up her palette week literally last week, or this Sunday. So just FYI, they do it about 2-3 times a year each, so it's really fun. And Lauren May Beauty also does Single Shadows Week, which I think is really fun. Anyway, just want to put that out there so you can check them out. They definitely were the inspiration for this. But let's rank all my palettes. If you've been in my channel for any length of time, you would know I went a little nuts this year with eyeshadow palettes. And in fact, I bought another one on Christmas Day because ABH was having a 30% off sale, so I bought the Jackie Aina palette because I really wanted to try those duochromes, because there's 3 duochromes in that palette. So I bought it. It's supposed to get here tomorrow actually, so we shall see. That was rather quickly to be quite honest. So anyway, I am very seriously debating going into a no buy for the very least the first half of the year of next year, maybe the whole year, I don't know, but like eyeshadows is getting out of control. But anyway, because we're here, we might as well start ranking all of my palettes because that's what we're here for. I am also like debating potentially decluttering 1 or 2 of these palettes, so you know. Now, I will say though, all the palettes that I do have here in my collection, I really do enjoy. I definitely feel like I need to get more use out of them, which is why I am doing those using all my palettes / eyeshadow obsessions project pan that was created by Chick Geek. I'll leave her down below. And I just want to get a lot of use out of all of my palettes. That's why I have decided to not put any palettes into project pans that require too much use out of them. I am putting them in my pie project pan because I want to be able to hit more pans here and there, but I don't want to like just hyper focus, you know. I really want to be able to get a lot of use out of all my palettes. And then I think at the end of 2021, after I've gotten more use out of all of them, I might consider doing a declutter at that time. Okay, my eyebrows are just not in play. So this rankings can potentially change a lot because a lot of these palettes I haven't played with too much, which is a problem. Anyway, let's just get started with number 21, which is the Pixie That's Hard to Censor palette. This was ranked a lot higher in when I did it earlier this year, but after playing with it some more, I just realized that this palette, it's really a one-note kind of palette. I do have major pan here, and I'm actually really close in hidden pan in this shape right here. But there's just not much diversity in here. I actually don't think the shades are too much difference in shades, and I don't particularly go for these oranges anymore. Not that it's not very wearable and very easy to use, but it's just not my jam anymore. I've just been gravitating towards different things. So this is going to be ranked at number 21. I do still really enjoy this palette. And I actually think that if I were to do a pan palette, this would be the first one to put in there because I think it would be really easy to pan. They're just really easy shades. For my number 20, this should come for not surprise to anybody, my Morphe 24D. This palette is so big. That's the main reason. The size of it is so large, even compared to like this my Jaclyn Hill palette. Even compared to Jaclyn Hill, it is significantly larger, and it's always at the very bottom of my drawer, which is why I am more deterred from like reaching for it. I don't feel, I just like, damn, but like if I go for it, I take all these other palettes out of the way, and I'm just like, ugh, it's too much trouble. And that's the biggest reason why it's in here. The color story I actually think is very beautiful. The shadows blend beautifully and it works really, really well. I actually really enjoyed this palette. The shimmers are really nice. Everything here is really, really nice. It's just so big. It's such a turn off how big it is. That's what she said. Sorry. Okay, let's just get over that. Okay, this one is gonna be a little hard for me because I am debating two palettes for the 19 spot. I think I'm gonna go with Sweet Talk. I've been very vocal about how disappointed I've been with this palette, especially because I bought it after so much hype coming into from last year. I just heard so many people talking about it in 2019. It was in so many people's top favorites, and the only other person that I know that shares a similar opinion about this palette that I do, I feel like is Cheeky. And she's also been very vocal about her disappointment. It's not a bad palette by no means, but I'm just a little disappointed just because... And this is on me. I mean, it does have two pressed glitters, which I don't like glitters because things always go into my eye for whatever somehow reason, and I'm a little scared to put that in there. I actually really do like the yellow tones in this palette, but that's not what's mostly in here. And these two shades, and Shigik has also mentioned this, is that they're so similar from each other. There's not enough depth between the two. Even though this one looks more pink, this one looks more orangey coral, they're actually quite similar. And I can just do a little of this and this, and you'll be able to see there's a very slight difference. And once you blend it out, you can't tell. So this was a big disappointment to me, and that's why it's at number 19. All right, we gotta speed this up. We're already at 7 minutes, and we're only 3 palettes in. All right, I'm gonna go with the other palette I was thinking about, which is the Identity palette as number 18. This one I'm a little conflicted. I also haven't played with it too much, so this could 100% change. But I've mentioned it before that these two shades right here look so muddy on me, and I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I'm fairly certain it has to do with the undertones. My olive undertones compared to this more cool tone undertones just don't blend well, and it just creates gray. I don't know what it is about, but it just creates gray. And yeah, I will say though, the shimmers in here are outstanding, and I think if I play with this palette a bit more, because I just got this one about 2 months ago and I haven't played with it too much, but I do want to play with it some more, because I do like all of this shades right here. I don't have any issues with the darkers. Of course I don't have any issues with the shimmers. Are actually very, very beautiful, and they've worked really well. I actually like the shimmers more in this palette than the mattes, but that's the weird thing because I always go for mattes first. I like mattes more, so I just gotta play with this one a little bit more. But as of right now, just because I'm having trouble with those two, that one's gonna be at number 21, 20, 19, 18. You know what, guys? I'm just gonna put it down below. I'm gonna try to keep track of it, but I'm just gonna put it down below. All right, for number 17, this one was really hard for me. ColourPop Double Entendre. I actually really enjoy this palette, and I've hit pan on it already. This was my pie project pan a while ago, and I'm actually really close on hit a pan on this palette in this shade right here too. The thing is, it's just those warm neutrals, which I mentioned I'm just not into as much. I'm really more into neutrals. As I mentioned, cool tone browns don't look good on me, so I can't quite do those. But more neutral, nothing too orange, actually does look pretty great on me. And I actually have been enjoying that a lot. This one just leans a little too orange. It's also very boring. The quality of this palette is obviously really good, and I really do enjoy it. And if I'm going for a simple look, this is one of the palettes I'll be reaching for. So I'm just gonna put that out there. All right, for number 16, same mentality as this palette is going to be my Boss Bae from Lara Los Angeles. Now, what I do like about this palette is it's just how little and compact it is. It's really easy. And if I was one of those people that could like only wear neutrals to work, I probably would reach for this palette a lot more. But I'm telling you guys, people have like tattoo sleeves on their arms at my work site. I have people with purple hair. So I've gone over there with like black lipstick and nobody gives a shit. They just give me compliments and like, oh my god, looks like that. So I don't necessarily wear neutrals to work. So this is not necessarily an everyday palette for me. However, I do enjoy this. These are super buttery, super easy to blend, and really, really easy to use. If you're looking for super easy look, you don't have to think about it too much, this is the one for you. However, like I said, I just don't reach for it very often because these are not the shades that I use on a regular basis. All right, bam. Give me a sec, guys. All right, guys. So for number 15, I am going to be putting the Lime Crime palette. I haven't touched it very much. I've only used it a handful of times. I do like this formula, which I wasn't expecting. And these shimmers are really interesting because I wouldn't even call them like shimmers. I will call them more like pearlized. I think that would be the term that I would use. It reminds me a little bit of the Persona Cosmetics, but the Persona Cosmetics is significantly more intense. But I still really like it. The shadows blend really easily. I just, like I said, I gotta play with it some more. The color story is not really up my alley as much as I would like to say, but I do really enjoy it. I just, like I said, I gotta play with it some more. So this one's going at number 15. All right, for my number 14, I'm actually gonna go with my Sleigh Bell right here. So the issue with Sleigh, oh god, that got really dark. Guys, you guys don't understand. It's like gray outside. Yikes. Okay, we just gotta get through this quickly. Alright. Ooh. Alright, so I'm gonna go with my L'Oreal Los Angeles and Sleigh Bell. Now, I actually really like this palette for these two shades right here. These two shades are somewhat unique to my palette, to my collection. Not necessarily the green. I'm actually wearing a similar green from the Jaclyn Hill palette. However, I just love this specific type of shade. I have it like 3 or 4 that are like just like this, which I know, somewhat unique, I said. This one is a lot brighter than those, so I really do enjoy it. And then this Jolly shade is actually quite unique to my palette. I don't have, to my collection, I don't have anything quite like it, and I really do enjoy it. I do like Cherry Chocolate. And I mentioned this before, I wish that instead of the bright lights, or even instead of Wish List, there was like a soft brown in between, like a neutral brown. That way you can transition into the red, because I just feel like it's too dark. And that's the reason why they give you this light one, this light cream shade, because they want you to like be able to blend this shade out with it. I just still feel like I just needed a soft transition shade, and this would have been a lot better. Regardless, I do enjoy it. I think the formula is really good, and I mentioned this before. L'Oreal Los Angeles is one of my top formulas. So there we are. Okay, I think I'm at number 13 now. Yes. So for number 13, I'm going to have my L'Oreal Los Angeles in Party Animal. Another one of the mini palettes. But this is my only rainbow palette, and it's hardly a rainbow palette, but it is my only rainbow palette. Thank God it's a mini. That's just not my thing. I've recently discovered that my perfect kind of makeup is half and half. Half neutral, half colorful. And that's kind of what I have going on today. I'll show you because I'm actually really proud of this makeup look. So I have this really warm transition into the crease, and then I have all this like, you know, green at the bottom and a little bit of black on the outside. But that's the way I like to do it, where it's like pops of green on my eye, you know, like pops of color on my eye. This actually looks very dramatic. But I promise, I know what I'm talking. In my head, I know what I'm talking about. I just like more half neutral, half colorful, and this is too colorful for me. But I do like it because sometimes, once in the blue moon, I will like to reach for colors, and I have this right here. And I don't think I will need more than this because that's just not my jam. But that's okay. I'm glad that I have the one rainbow palette. That's a mini, thank God. So, yay. All right, so for number 12, I believe it's number 12. I'm gonna go with the Cute AF. As I mentioned, Cute AF, the Yes Please palette from ColourPop. I'm just not into warm tones as much as I used to be, but the reason why I just can't let go of this palette is because of this this transition shade right here is my absolute favorite transition shade in the world. It's like, if you watched my video yesterday, I mentioned Tan Tan. This is slightly lighter than Tan Tan, but it's like the same undertone, and it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. My absolute favorite transition shadow in the world. And that one is Note to self. So good. Also, there's just a lot of really easy colors here. They blend really well. They just blend right into each other. And I really like that yellow. I've used that yellow multiple times and it's so nice. I do like this palette quite a bit. All right, I think I'm on 12. Was that 12? I think I'm in 11. Hold on, guys. Okay, I'm back. So I just had to like, one, count, and two, get my thoughts together because I wasn't really 100% sure of what I was going to be doing next for number 11, because I, of course, did not think this through before I sat down to film. I just kind of did it. I'm doing as I'm going. For number 11, I decided to go with the Nudie number 2 palette from Los Angeles. Now, this one sec. Okay, anyway, this one, I just haven't played with too much. I got this one about a month ago, so I haven't played with it too much. I do like it, and what I've done with it, I really have enjoyed. These two shades are really unique formula to my collection, and I actually do like it. I actually had a get ready with me with this palette, so if you want to check that out, I'll link it up here so you can check it out. I do enjoy it. I just haven't played with it too much. So this could potentially go higher, this could potentially go lower. As for right now, this color story is really calling my name because this has those more romantic shades. There's a little bit of warmness, but it's really more neutral, and I do enjoy it. Like I said, I just have to play with it some more, and I haven't done that. So there's that. Now on the other side, for the top 10, my number 10 is its counterpart sister, Cat's Pajamas. So for Cat's Pajamas, this is my oldest palette that I own. I've used the heck out of it. Spoiler alert for my eyeshadow obsession, I have pan. So I'm pretty proud of that. I have 2 pans on this palette. I'm pretty proud of that. I have quite a few divots in other shades, but I'm not running out of this palette anytime soon. And I just really enjoy this kind of color story. It still has those warm browns, but it's not too brown, and it has those romantic shades, those mauves, and I really do enjoy it. The formula is outstanding, as I've mentioned before. I like this formula a lot, and I like it. I like it. All right, I just like it. All right, for my number 9, I have Proceed with Caution. The ColourPop X Shayla. Jesus Christ, there you go. I'm like too scared to like really dig in there with my nail because since I just did it earlier today, I'm like, I don't know. And I've never had them before, so I don't know how it's gonna work. But this is what this palette looks like. I know what you're thinking. I thought you said you didn't want warms. I feel like it's not too warm, this palette. There's really just these 2 shades right here that are really warm. I really enjoy this yellow. It's so bright, which I really like when I do yellow looks. And I do yellow looks quite often. But the shade that really puts this over the top for me, or the shades, it's 2 of them. It's Culture and Hazard. These 2 shades are so beyond beautiful. Hazard, I have nothing like this in my collection. It is very unique to me, and I love to just do like a soft transition because again, this doesn't lean too warm, it's more neutral. Put that all over my lid, put a little bit of the black on the outer corner, and then just put this all over the lid, and it is beyond stunning. It is amazing. Really enjoy this palette. And that puts it at number 9. All right, so for number 8, I'm gonna go with the Wild Nothing palette. I know a lot of people rank this palette a lot lower because I've seen a lot of like ranking videos recently of like people trying out palettes for that came out this year, and this was 100% an impulse buy, which I really try not to do anymore, but this one got me. And I know what you're thinking, this is a super soft palette. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But the reason that really attracted me to this is that it has those neutral browns, not warm, not too cool. Yes, it does have these 2 coral shades. I actually really like this shade for a transition shade when I want to do something a little bit different. This is by far my least used shadow in this palette. God, the lighting. Okay. This is by far my least used shadow in this palette, but I really enjoy this whole palette as a whole. The shimmers in here are beautiful. I love this soft green, and this bottom row is everything that I'm looking for right now. This is just the color story that I want, and it is really light. If you have even just a light darker skin tone than I do, and I have a medium to light kind of skin tone, it might not be the one for you, but I really, really enjoy it. Those are just the type of shades that I'm looking for right now, and that's why it's ranked where it is. All right, for number 7, I'm gonna go with my Give It To Me Straight palette. So, Give It To Me Straight is actually a relatively similar story to Cat's Pajamas, which I've mentioned before. I do have Pen in this one as well. This one does have those warms, I know, but it also has those neutrals, not too warm right here. These shimmers are beautiful. I feel like I can do something more romantic with this mauves, and I just really, really enjoy it. I actually really like this transition shade right here. I know it's really orangey, but it's slightly brownish as well. I don't know what it is. It's somewhat unique to me, and I really enjoyed this palette as a whole. So just gonna put that out there. All right, for my number 6, I'm gonna go with the Raw Beauty Christie palette. Now, I mentioned this before, but the colorful side is not my favorite side. It's just not. And again, I need to play with this palette some more. I haven't played with it as much as I would want to, but I don't love this side of the color story. However, the other side, the neutral side, I really enjoy. I like this yellow toned browns, which is somewhat unique to me. These yellow tone browns are really good. I've done this before a couple times now, where I just do like a brown smoky eye, just going straight up down this aisle right here. So I'll just put the yellow like on my crease because I really want it to pop. I'll put this all over the lid, and then I'll blend the middle with this shade right here, and it looks beautiful. It's a beautiful yellow smoky eye, and I really, really like that. I actually really enjoy this. This Moo Point is such an interesting shade. I really, really like it. You can do so many versatile like moves from there without being too cool, which works really well for my skin tone. So I really like that palette for the neutral side more so than the colorful side, and it's good to be able to pop into the colorful side if I want to do a little something. It's just like I said, no damn. All right, we are down to the top 5, and I'm like really thinking about this. All right, I'm gonna go with the Jaclyn Hill palette. This was ranked a lot higher for me before, but yeah, this is where we're at right now. So the Jaclyn Hill palette, I think it's a good blend of those like half neutral, half colorful, like I mentioned before, and I really do enjoy it. Again, I just haven't played with this as much this year as I would have wanted to, and I feel like that's the story of my life for all of my eyeshadows this whole year. I've said that multiple times. Let's make it a drinking game, and every time I say it, you should take a shot. You'll be drunk by the end of the video. Anyway, but the thing is, I haven't reached for as much, and the color, again, it's so large, similar to the 24G, where it does deter me a little bit to grab it, just because it's kind of shoved at the bottom of my drawer, and for me to reach it, I have to move things out of the way, so it is a little inconvenient for me to pull it out, which that's on me, not necessarily on the palette. I do enjoy it. Every time I use it, I do have a really good look. I am really glad that I put it in my eyeshadow obsessions project pan, because I've been getting a lot more use out of it recently. In fact, it is one of the palettes that I'm using right now. I have this green all over my lid, and I use a little bit of black to, you know, put it in the outer corner. So I am enjoying it more now, but I just feel like there's so many different shades as well that even me, you know, making sure I use it 20 times, I'm not getting enough use out of the entire palette as a whole. But I still really do enjoy it, and the color story is really right up my alley. So I like it a lot. Cool. All right, so for my number 4, I'm gonna go with At Foresight. This honestly has potential to go a lot higher in this ranking, which there's not a lot of room for it to go, but it has potential. I got this one very recently. I haven't played with it very much, so I don't have a full form opinion on it, but the times that I have used it, loved it. This color story, except for this blue and this like wine purple shade or plum shade, it's literally my palette of the dreams. I love the hell out of this palette. This color story, if this gold was slightly lighter, just like a little more champagne and less gold, this would be it. I could have made this palette. Literally, it's so me. I could have made it myself. I really enjoy this palette. Like I said, I haven't played with it more. I need to play with it more to be able to really like form an opinion and potentially be higher. All right, for my top 3. All right, I'm just gonna go with Nudie Patootie. It's nude. It's a nude palette. The good thing that I will say though, it's not too warm. It's more neutral, which is what, like I said, what I've been into lately. I do like that they have that little yellow and a little pink and this foil shades. This palette really showed me how to play with textures, which I hadn't done before, which is something that I really do enjoy. I really like this palette. I need to play with it some more, okay? I just do. But I do really enjoy it and I like it and I want to keep playing with it because it gives me all the feels. All right. If you watched my ranking all the palettes that I tried in 2020, you already know how this goes because I'm down to 2, which are the same 2 I had in that video, and I still feel the same way about both of them. So, number 2, Persona Identity 2, and I know this is an unpopular opinion because I was on Instagram just, I think it was yesterday actually, and Persona Cosmetics had this poll like, which one do you want to pick, the Persona Identity 1 or the Identity 2, and like over 80% of everyone said Identity 1. But no, I would much rather have Identity 2 over Identity 1. And that is 100% because there's no dot shade in here for me, which for me in the other one there is 2. And again, the formula is fine, it's just the undertones of those shades combined with my skin tone do not look good. Where I don't have that problem here at all. This independent shade is super unique to me. I really do enjoy it. I, again, love those green dark shadows, so I'm totally okay with having another one. And overall, there's so many different combinations and looks that I can do with this palette that I don't think I could ever get tired of it. If I could only repurchase, or if I could only repurchase a couple palettes, this would be one that I would definitely repurchase. I absolutely love it. Yeah. All right. And for my number 1, was there any surprise at all? No. The So Jaded Kathleen Lights palette. I should have bought it sooner. Everyone was always raving about it online. I'm like, no, y'all crazy. I don't know about that. And I should have bought it sooner because I love it. It does have those 2 glitter shades, which I've mentioned before, I don't like. But because the palette is so much bigger, I still quite enjoy it. And it's not too big. Like if I compare this to the Jaclyn Hill, it's still significantly smaller. So yes, it is kind of at the bottom of my drawer, but because they literally sit like on top of each other, it's a lot easier for me to dig this one out from on top. So I don't have nearly as many issues kind of reaching for it. And those shades, I do want to just, and I did a comparison of this palette with the At Foresight palette. Ooh, there you go. And there's a lot of similar shades. They're just, this one has a lot more, so they're kind of spread out, but there's a lot of similar shades. If they're not like dupes for each other, there's a lot of comparing shades, like that olive green. They have that darker green. Now granted, this one's a shimmer. They have those dark browns, they have a yellow, they have those warm browns, they have that mauve look. They don't have a gold. That's okay. They do have that greens. Like I said, it's just, there's a lot of similar shades. So that's why I'm saying this one could pretty go up the ranking. But this one just has everything that I could ever think for. This Tiger Eye, really something unique. I've mentioned it before, but onyx looks like a galaxy in the eye. And it's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I really, really, really enjoy this palette. I should have bought it sooner. I want to get a lot more out of it. And I'm just happy to have it. And that is it. That is ranking all of my eyeshadow palettes. This got a little bit out of hand. This video is really long. I hate putting out really long videos because, yeah. Anyway, I should have said this at the beginning. You might have wanted to like speed up, but I do talk fast as it is. So anyway, it is what it is. I hope you enjoy it. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to become a resident of Upsterville. And I'll see you in the next one tomorrow. Bye guys.